So, 10th Social Science History Chapter 1 The Advent of Europeans to India. One mark question. Let's start. Which was the gateway of European trade? Yes, Constantinople. The person who discovered a new sea route to India by Vasco da Gama. The Portuguese viceroy who implemented blue water policy is Francisco de Almeida. The First Carnatic War ended with the Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle. The Second Carnatic War ended with the Treaty of Pondicherry, which was the Third Carnatic War ended with the Treaty of Paris. Who introduced the dual government system in Bengal? Robert Clay. What is meant by blue water policy? In order to establish the supremacy over the sea instead of supremacy over the land, or the policy of strengthening naval power to monopolize the sea instead of dominating the land is called by blue water policy. Who captured Constantinople in 1453? Yes, Ottoman Turks. Who was the real founder of Portuguese emperor in India? Yes, Alfonso de Albuquerque. Which treaty ended with the Third Carnatic War? Yes, Treaty of Paris. Which was the capital of the French in India? Yes, Pondicherry. Where did Vasco da Gama land in India? Yes, Kappad near Calicut. Which was the princely state ruled by Marthandorma? Which was the princely state ruled by Marthandorma? Yes, Wayanad. In India, the first Anglo-Maratha War was ended with the Treaty of Salbai. The system of subsidiary alliance was introduced by Lord Wellesley. The first state which accepted the system of subsidiary alliance is Hyderabad. After the Third Anglo-Maratha War, the traditional leader installed by the British in the Satara, Pratap Singh, the one who implemented the doctrine of lapse, Dalhousie, the one who annexed the Punjab to the British Empire, Dalhousie. The Second Anglo-Maratha War was ended with the Treaty of Bassein. Who successfully organized in 6 years? Ranjit Singh. What is meant by system of subsidiary alliance? The subsidiary alliance was a military treaty between the East India Company and the Indian states. Why did Wellesley resigned his post and returned to the Britain? Because Wellesley battle-thirstiness led to the criticism of the company's debt burden battle-thirstiness and led to his resignation. What is the reason for the Third Anglo-Maratha War? Yes, the Peshwa attacked the Pune Residency. What was the reason for political anarchy in Punjab in 1839? Yes, the death of Ranjit Singh. Who became the Peshwa after the First Anglo-Maratha War? The impact of British rule in India. The law which established the Supreme Court of Calcutta is Regulating Act 1773. The post of Superintendent of Police was created by Cornwallis. The British governor who established the new universities in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras, Dalhousie. The reason for creating the separate electoral system in 1909, separate representation for Muslims. The Government of India Act 1935 was an important document of independent India because it created a federal system. The permanent zamindari system was introduced by Lord Cornwallis. The person who gave a report on the modern education system is Macaulay, who was the first British officer to promote modern education in India. Warren Hastings. What is Mahal? Mahal means taluk. What is the policy of assertion? Allowed Indians to participate in the process of lawmaking. Allowed Indians to participate in the process of lawmaking. What is Diwani Adalat? Civil courts. Science Chapter 3 Opposition to British rule in Karnataka and Violence of Mysore. The state anthem of Mysore, Kayo Sri Gauri, was composed by Basappa Shastri. Treaty signed at the end of First Anglo-Mysore War, Madras Treaty. Surapura, located in the district of Yadagiri, the place where Sangoli Rayana hanged Nandagar. The result of Battle of Porto-Novo, Hyder Ali defeated by the British. The Wadair who constructed Bangalore-Mysore Railway in the line Chamarajendra Wadair 10. The one who among the following being called the Rajashri by Mahatma Gandhi, Krishnaraj Wadair 4. The Navaratri festival Dasara of Mysuru was started by Raja Wadair. How is the 17th century being called century of political problem? What was the reason for shifting Queen Channamma from Bailahongala to Kosugal jail? Due to the suspicion that Sangolli Rayana was leading an armed rebellion to help Channamma. What is meant by peace and revolt? Amarasulia rebellion. What was the reason for the rebellion of Bedas of Halagali against the British? Due to the law prohibiting the use of weapons and came into enforce. Who offered the crown of Rajamudi to Melukote Charunarayana Swami? Chapter 5 Social Religious Reforms and Movements. The reform organization based on the principle that service to humanity is service to God by Prarthana Samaj. The reason for starting the newspaper Samvada Komadi to develop the rationality among the people. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar was influenced by the principles of Jyotiba Phule. The Brahma Vidya Samaj was started by Rajaram Mohan Rai. The newspaper New India was started by Annie Besant. The call returned to the Vedas given by Atmaram Panduranga. In order to revive the Indian society, Dayananda Saraswati declared return to the Vedas. Identified the odd one. Rajaram Mohan Rai Samvada Komadi, Dayananda Saraswati Satyartha Prakash, Narayan Rao Guru Revolt, Annie Besant New India. The answer is Narayana Guru Revolt. How is the 19th century being called? It's a Indian Renaissance. Which newspaper did Rajaram Mohan Rai start? Samvada Kaumudi. Who was the founder of the Prarthana Samaj? Atmaram Panduranga. Who advocated freedom as the first need of every human being? The answer is Jyotiba Phule. Who was the teacher of Swami Vivekananda? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Who started the Young Bengal movement? The answer is Henry Vivian Delozia. What was the purpose of establishing the Ramakrishna mission? To propagate the ideals of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who said there is no one caste, one religion, and one God for the human race. The answer is Narayana Guru. Who was the social reformer who wrote the book Slavery? The answer is Jyotiba Phule. Who was the social reformer who popularized the Prarthana Samaj? The answer is M. J. Ranade. Who started the Anglo-Oriental College? The answer is Syed Ahmad Khan. How did William Bentinck support Rajaram Mohan Rai flights against the practice of sati? The answer is by implementing the Chapter 6, the first war of Indian independence in history. The immediate cause for the 1857 rebellion was the introduction of the Royal Enfield Rifles. The leader who rose against the British in Kanpur, Nana Sahib. One of the reasons for the failure of the first Indian War of Independence or Sipahi Mutiny, the answer is lack of strong leadership. What was the reason Why the Sepoys lost the confidence of the common people during the First War of Independence was soldiers looting the robberies. What did Indian historians call the 1857 revolt struggle? The First War of Indian Independence or Sepoy Mutiny? Who killed a British officer at Barakpur during 1857 struggle? Mangal Pandey. At what place British captured the Queen of Jhansi? Gwalior. What was the name of the proclamation issued by the Queen of Britain in India in 1858? Magna Carta. What was the event that triggered the first Indian War of Independence in 1850? The Chapter 7 Freedom Struggle in the History. Who is the founder of Indian National Congress? The answer is A.O. Hume. The one who was associated with the Marathi newspaper Kesari by Balagangadhara Tilak. Swaraj Party was established in the year 1923. The Haripura session of Indian National Congress was presided over by Subhash Chandra Bose. The train theory of wealth was propagated by Dadabhai Nauroji. The first Prime Minister of India was Jawaharlal Nehru. The prominent moderate leader among the following is Gopalakrishna Gokhale. The reason for partition of Bengal in 1905 to strengthen the struggle against the British. The Quit India movement gave leadership to non-Congress leaders. The prominent among them is Jayaprakash Narayan. Gandhiji started the Champaran movement to support the blueberry growers. The movement led by Ali brothers was Khilafat. Who implemented the Vernacular Press Act? The answer is Lord Lytton. Who implemented the Vernacular Act? Yes, the Lord Lytton. When was the Indian National Congress founded? Yes, 1885. Who composed Geeta Rahasya in jail? The answer is Balagangadhara Tilak. Which were the secret organization during the freedom movement in India? Anushilana Samiti and Abhinava Bharat. Who led to the Khilafat movement in India? Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. Who was the president of the Lahore session of Congress? Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. In which year did the Quit India movement takes place? 1942. Who was the founder of the Forward Black Party? Yes, Subhash Chandra Bose. Who published the Janata and Mukanayaka newspapers? By Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Who led to the non-aligned movement? The answer is Lord Mount. Who led to the non-aligned movement? The answer is Jawaharlal Nehru. Who was the Viceroy of India? The answer is Lord Mountbatten. Which commission demarcated the border between the India and Pakistan? Sir John Radcliffe Commission. Who demanded the separate Muslim nation India after independence or the post-independent India, Chapter 8? The report that led to the emergence of two Indian independent nations, India and Pakistan, that is Mountbatten Report. The two elements added to our constitution under the 42nd Amendment, secular and socialist. The Iron Man of India is Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Mysore state was renamed as Karnataka in 1973. Who was the first president of India? Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad. When was the Constitution of India came into force? 1950, January 26. When was Goa become a state? 1987. Who was the chairman of the State Reorganization Commission? Dr. Fazal Ali. Which was the first linguistic state of India? Yes, Andhra Pradesh. Which organization fought for the unification of Karnataka state? Yes, all Karnataka State Organization Council. What were the problems faced by India after Chapter 9, the World Wars and the India's role? The policy, if not joining the any power or blocks, is called the non-alignment. The correct group of countries belong to Triple Alliance: Germany, Austria, and Hungary, and Italy. The cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki are Japan. The treaty of that ended the First World War, that is, the Treaty of Versailles. The correct group of two countries that engaged in the Cold War: United States and Soviet Russia. The one among the following is different from the rest. The answer is grey shirts. Axis alliance belongs to one group. The answer is grey shirts. Why did the Adolf Hitler form the grey shirts? The answer is Hitler formed the grey shirts to create the riots and create fear among the people. Why did Hitler appoint a special minister named Goebbels? Hitler appointed a minister named Goebbels to incite racial hatredness. Name the fascist dictator of Italy. The answer is Mussolini. Where is Teen Murti Bhavan located? Teen Murti Bhavan located in Delhi. Why was the League of Nations established? The League of Nations established to prevent world wars. What is meant by Holocaust? The Holocaust means the mass killings carried out by Hitler are called the Holocaust. What is the immediate cause of the First World War? Archduke Ferdinand Francis Ferdinand, the Prince of Austria, was assassinated by a Serbian citizen. So this is the reason for the immediate cause of the First World War. The Austrian prince, the Archduke Ferdinand Francis Ferdinand, was assassination means died by the Serbian citizen. So this is the reason. What was the humiliating pact made with Germany? That is Treaty of Versailles. When was the Russian Revolution takes place? In 19. Geography Chapter 1: India: Geographical Location and Natural Features. The eastern coastline wide is wide. Ladakh Plateau is found in the Great Himalayas. Highest mountain peak of India is Godwin Austen or K2. The largest geographical division of India is Peninsular Plateau. Our ancient geographical division is also the Peninsular Plateau. Where do the Eastern and Western Ghats meet? The answer is Nilgiri Hills. Why is the North Indian plain called the accumulation plain? Because this plain of North India is made up of alluvial soil carried by rivers. Name any two hill stations in the Himalayas: Shimla, Mussoorie, Ranikhet, Nainital, Chakrat, and Darjeeling. What are the dunes? The dunes are the flat, narrow plains in the foothills of the Himalayas, is known as the dunes. Which is the oldest landmass of India? The answer is Peninsular Plateau. What is the another name of the Great Himalayas? The answer is Himadri. Which is the highest mountain peak in the South India? The answer is Annaimudi. Which is the highest mountain peak found in the Western Ghats? The answer is Annaimudi. On which longitude is the Indian Standard Time based? 82 and a half east longitude. How are the Western Ghats called in Maharashtra seasons of India? What is the reason for the high temperature in North India during summer? Because the answer is the sun rays fall vertically on the northern hemisphere during summer. What is the reason for the rainfall in summer? Due to local temperature and winds. What is Kala Baisakhi? The pre-monsoon rainfall in West Bengal is called as Kala Baisakhi. Which are the two branches of the southwest monsoon? The answer is Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal branch. Which state doesn't receive rain during the southwest monsoon? The answer is Tamil Nadu. Which is the period of lowest rainfall in India? Winter. What is meant by coffee blossom or coffee showers? The answer is the pre-monsoon rainfall that occurs in Karnataka during April and May is called coffee blossom. What is meant by mango showers? The pre-monsoon rainfall that occurs in Kerala during April and May is called mango showers. Why does the western part of the Eastern Ghats receive more rainfall? The Arabian Sea branch is blocked by Western Ghats and causes more rainfall. What is the retreating period of monsoon called the northeast monsoon? The southwest monsoon The southwest monsoon winds return from the northeast direction, hence they are called the northeast monsoon winds. Which place records highest temperature in India? Ganganagar in Rajasthan. Which region received the highest rainfall in India? Masimbrom in Meghalaya. Which region receives the lowest rainfall in India? Roili in Rajasthan. What causes cyclonic storms during the retreating monsoon season? Due to the creation of low pressure area in Bay of Bengal. Why is temperature lower in South India than in North India during summer? South India is surrounded by water bodies in three sides. That is the reason for the temperature of lower in South India than North India. Soils of India. This soil is covering largest area on the Deccan Plateau, that is red soil. The most extensively spread soil in India is alluvial soil. This soil is also called the Regur soil, black soil. This soil is suitable for dry farming, that is black soil. This soil suitable for growing millet, tobacco and oilseeds, red soil. Deficiency of nitrogen and salts is found in this soil. The answer is alluvial soil. Most common soil is found in Rajasthan, desert soil. Decayed organic matter is abundantly found in mountain soil. Soil found in areas with more than 200 cm of rainfall, alluvial soil. The soil found in Deccan Tract region is known as black soil. What is the reason for the presence of different types of soils in India? The parent rocks from which soils are produced are different in their quality. Which are the elements contained in the soil? The decayed organic matter of plants and animals. What is alluvial soil? The soil carried and deposited by rivers from the mountainous regions. Why is black soil called black cotton soil? Since black soil is very suitable for cotton cultivation. What is regur soil? The black soil is called regur soil. Why does black soil retain moisture for a long time? Because clay particles are found more often. How is desert soil formed? In areas with very little rainfall and high temperatures. Which type of soil is found in the Himalayas? Mountain soil. Why is desert soil not suitable for agriculture? Because since it is less retentive, retentive moisture gets reduced and dried out quickly. Why is laterite soil mostly found in the western Ghats of India? Because it gets rainfall more than 200 centimeters annually. What is meant by soil erosion? Tem- Transformation of surface soil by various natural forces is called soil erosion. What is soil conservation? Preventing soil erosion and maintaining its fertility. What is the main causes for soil erosion? Deforestation, overgrazing, unscientific methods of cultivation, over-irrigation. India forest resources. Sundarbans are found in the Gangetic Plain. The most widespread forest in India, deciduous monsoon forest. Type of forest found in Himalayas, alpine forest. In this type of forest, the plants have deep roots and thorns. Desert forest. The type of forest found in Assam and Meghalaya, evergreen forest. The state which has the highest forest area in India, Madhya Pradesh. The state which has the lowest forest area in India, Haryana. Types of forest found in estuaries and lowlands, mangrove forest. India's first biosphere reserve, it is in Nilgiri. Why are mangrove forests of the Ganga's delta called Sundarbans? Sundari type of trees found in abundantly. What is natural vegetation or forest? The natural vegetation of an area. According to the Forest Status Report of India 2021, what is the area under forest in India? 7,13,789 hectares, 21.71%. Deciduous forests are called deciduous monsoon forests in India. Why? There are deciduous forests during the dry season of the year. Which forest is found wind with babul, shisham, sabhai grass? Tropical grassland forest. Deciduous monsoon forests are widely distributed in India since India has a monsoon climate. What is forest conservation? To protect forests from human, animal, and natural disasters. Why are wildlife sanctuaries created in India? To protect various animals in their native habitat. Which was the first national park established in India? Jim Corbett of Uttarakhand. Why are biosphere reservoirs created in India? To protect the biodiversity. Water resources of India. The country with the largest irrigated area in the world is India. The state with largest tank irrigation in India, Andhra Pradesh. India's first multi-purpose river valley project, Damodar River. Dam built across the river Mahanadi, that is Hirakud. The river which is known as the Tears of Bihar, the Kosi River. Nagarjuna Sagar Dam has been built across the river Krishna River. Significance of Damodar River Valley Project. Damodar River is a no longer remains the tears of Bengal. Major multipurpose river valley project in Odisha, Hirakud. Multipurpose river valley project built across Sutlej River, Bakranangal. What is irrigation? Irrigation is the supply of water to agriculture land through artificial channels, wells and tanks. Which is the tallest dam in India? That is Bakranangal. Which is the joint project between India and Nepal, Kosi project. What is the rainwater harvesting? Collecting and using rainwater is called rain harvesting. What is groundwater recharging? Preventing rainwater from flowing away and storing it in the ground is called groundwater recharging. Why is the Damodar River called the Tears of Bengal? The Damodar River is called the Tears of Bengal because water resources of India. The country with the largest irrigated area in the world is India. The state with largest tank irrigation in India, Andhra Pradesh. India's first multi-purpose river valley project, Damodar River. Dam built across the river Mahanadi, that is Hirakud. The river which is known as the Tears of Bihar, the Kosi River. Nagarjuna Sagar Dam has been built across the river Krishna River. Significance of Damodar River Valley Project. Damodar River is no longer remains the Tears of Bengal. Major multipurpose river valley project in Odisha, Hirakud. Multipurpose river valley project built across Sutlej River, Bakranangal. What is irrigation? Irrigation is the supply of water to agricultural land through artificial channels, wells and tanks. Which is the tallest dam in India? That is Bakranangal. Which is the joint project between India and Nepal Kosi project. What is the rainwater harvesting? Collecting and using rainwater is called rain harvesting. What is groundwater recharging? Preventing rainwater from flowing away and storing it in the ground is called groundwater recharging. Why is the Damodar River called the Tears of Bengal? The Damodar River is called the Tears of Bengal because land use and agriculture in India. The permanent settlement of people in any area and farming is called fixed farming. The state that grows the most rice in India in West Bengal. The state which is known as the granary of wheat, Punjab. The position of India in tea production, first place. The method of farming in which crops are grown in commercial purposes, commercial farming. What is land use? The use of land for various purposes is called land use. What is meant by Golden Revolution? The development of horticulture is called Golden Revolution. What is commercial farming? Farming for commercial purposes is called commercial farming. What is floriculture? Commercial flower farming is called floriculture. What is India's rank in the world in terms of cultivated area? Second place. What is Rabi farming? Farming in winter season is called Rabi farming. What is intensive farming? Growing 2 to 3 crops from same field in the year is called intensive farming. What is subsistence farming? Subsistence farming is the cultivation of crops that farmers need for their livelihood. What is mixed farming? Mixed farming is the cultivation of agricultural land not only for growing crops but also for raising livestock such as poultry, sheep, pigs, bees, etc. Which are the cropping seasons in India? Early monsoon, Kharif. Mineral and energy resources of India. India's largest oil deposit, Bombay High. This is called the liquid gold, petroleum. Petroleum is called liquid gold because it is used in both war and peacetime. A good example of conventional energy resource among these, petroleum. The metal known as Kage Bangara is called mica. It is the lightest metal among the atomic minerals. Lithium is the lightest metal among the atomic minerals. What is mineral? A mineral is a mixture that contains a specific chemical composition that occurs naturally in nature. Which metal is called the wonder metal of the 20th century? Aluminium. Why is aluminum called the wonder metal of 20th century? Because it is used for variety of uses. Which metal is used as a medium for international value determination? Gold. Which mine produces the highest amount of gold in India? Hatti Gold Mine in Karnataka. Where was petroleum discovered for the first time in India? Digbai in Assam. What is global warming? The possibility of increasing the temperature of the Earth's atmosphere due to the use of conventional energy resources is called global warming. What is solar energy? The use of heat emitted by the sun's rays is called solar energy. Where was the first solar power generation station set up in? The port which is known as the Gateway of India, Mumbai, the Teapot of India, Kolkata, the longest national highway in India, National Highway 44, the year in which the Airports Authority of India was established in 1995, Natural Port of India, Visakhapatnam, the system which is known as the Road Finder or Pathfinder GPS, the regional and independent GPS system of India, NAVIC. What is transport? Transportation is the movement of goods, services, information and goods from one place to another. Where did the Border Roads Authority of India build the world's highest road? Umingla, Ladakh. In which year did the Government of India establish the NHAI for the construction and maintenance of national highways? In 1988. What is remote sensing technology? Collecting information related to objects from the distance without physically touching them. Which are the types of transport? A port called Navashiva has been built in to reduce the pressure on the Mumbai port. What is mass media? Mass media is a means of communication that reaches all people. Name the types of transport. Major industries of India. The first steel industry in India was established in Kulti in West Bengal. The place which is called Manchester of India is Mumbai. The Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore. The ISRO was established in the year 1969. This is the first country of land near the South Pole in the moon, the India. What is industrial sector? Areas where industries are highly concentrated are called industrial zones. Iron and steel industry is called basic industry. Why? This industry provides raw materials required for many other industries like machinery, railways, shipbuilding, power projects, irrigation projects, building, construction, house construction, etc. What is textile industry? The production of cloth from different types of fibers is called textile industry. Why is Mumbai in Maharashtra called Manchester of India? Mumbai, Maharashtra has the highest number of cotton mills. Where was India's first paper industry established? Serampur in West Bengal. What is knowledge-based industry? The information technology industry, which is based on human knowledge, is called knowledge-based industry. Why did knowledge-based industry get in the name? Because human enthusiasm is the basis. Why did the Indian government establish software technology parks? To encourage the growth of the software industry and promote exports. Why is Bangalore called the Silicon Valley of India? Because Bangalore is the major center of information technology (IT). Where is the head office of ISRO? It is in Bangalore. Natural disasters. Recently, cyclones have also occurred in the Arabian Sea because global warming. Precautionary measure for floods, forestation. Walls should be built on both sides of the river because flood control. Type of forest grown to control erosion: mangrove forest. The state where coastal erosion is most common: Kerala. Forests should be grown in watershed areas because of flood control. What is the main reason for occurrence of cyclones? Intense heating giving rise to humid and unstable air masses that causes cyclones. In which year did Cyclone Nilofer occur? 2014. What are floods? Floods are caused when the volume of water in the rivers exceeds their carrying capacity due to heavy rains and melting to snow. How do dams cause floods? Floods occur when dams burst and water is released at once. Landslides are common in mining areas. Why? Landslides occur when mines reach deep ore deposits. What is a landslide? A landslide is a mass of land that slides down a steep slope from the top of mountain or hill. What is coastal erosion? The erosion of a coastal zone by the waves of the sea is called coastal erosion. What is an earthquake? An earthquake is an unexpected shaking of the Earth's surface due to the internal energy of the Earth. What is natural disasters? Natural disasters are natural events that cause the destruction of human life, property, and natural resources. Coastal erosion is more common in western coast. Why? Due to the high waves hitting the coastal areas due to monsoon winds and cyclones. Why should we grow mangrove forests along the coast? To control sea erosion. Sociology, social stratification. The article of the Constitution which prohibits the place of untouchability, Article 17. Who said that truly the whole mankind is one? Pampa. Untouchability is a stigma on the Hindu society is by Mahatma Gandhi. This act made the practice of untouchability a punishable offence in 1976, the year in which the Protection of Civil Rights Act came into force in 1976. The Untouchability Offences Act was renewed in 1976 with necessary changes as protection of civil rights. The significance of Article 17 of the Constitution of India: elimination of untouchability. What is social stratification? Stratification is a division of people into upper and lower class on the basis of income, education, caste, color, gender, occupation, and intelligence, etc. What is prejudice? A predetermined attitude that can be held towards an individual or a group. Which legislation has given special responsibility for eradication of untouchability to the state government? In 19, Labour and Economic Life. The year in which the Government of India enacted the Equal Pay Act in 1976. An example for organized workers, teachers. An example for unorganized sector workers, agricultural workers. Reason for class system in modern times, industrialization. Best example of unwaged labor, bonded labor. What is labor? If a person gets financial or material reward from the expenditure of his energy or effort is called labor. What is division of labor? Division of labor is the divisions of work between people on the basis of the interest, aptitude, abilities, age, special expertise, skills and gender differences. Why was the Equal Wages Act 1976 enacted? The Equal Wages Act was enacted to eliminate discrimination in employment. What is specialized expertise? It refers to acquiring sufficient in-depth expertise, training or skills in the particular field. What is waged labor? Work activity that provides wages, salary or any other material form of reward. What is unwaged labor? Unpaid work is the activity that is human being engages in for the sake of mental happiness. What is unemployment? Unemployment is the situation where a person is unable to find a job despite of having collective behavior and protest. Silent Valley movement launched in Kerala. This environmental movement held in Salyani village of Uttara Kannada district of Karnataka, Apiko. Narmada Bachao Andolan movement was led by Medha Patkar. Environmental movement opposed by Dr. Shivaram Karanth. Anti-Kaiga nuclear power plant movement. The founder of Karnataka State Farmers Association, Professor M.D. Nanjunaswamy. What is collective behavior? Collective behavior is the behavior of an individual while in a group. What is mob? A crowd of people gathering around a common interest without any prior plan is called a mob. What is right? Violent and destructive behavior of crowd is called right. What is labor movement? A movement carried out by trade unions for the interests of workers is called labor movement. Who led the Apiko movement? The farmers of Salyani village. Social changes. The child helpline number 1098 are easy to remember 8910. As per Article 24 of the Constitution, child labour below 14 years of age is a punishable offence. The Dowry Prohibition Act was enacted by the Government of India in 1961. The Prenatal Sex Testing Prohibition Act was enacted in 1994. The act that provided the right to compulsory and free education for children aged to 6 to 14 years, the Right to Education Act 2009. The year in which the Child Labour Prohibition and Control Act was implemented, 1986. The program to enroll child labourers in school through Sarva Shikshana Abhiyana in Karnataka from drudgery to school. What is child labour? Child labour is employment of minor children. What is child marriage? Marriage of a girl before the age of 18 and a boy before the age of 21 is called child marriage. What is female foeticide? If the fetus in the womb is female, killing it is the womb killing in the womb called female foeticide. What is female infanticide? The cruel practice of killing a female child after birth is called female infanticide. Why was the Prenatal Sex Testing Prohibition Act 1994 implemented? To prevent female foeticide. When was Child Marriage Prohibition Act implemented? In 2006. Which law was enacted to prevent the sexual abuse of children? Protection of Children from Sexual Offences (POCSO Act). Economics. Father of Green Revolution in India, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. While the Niti Aayog is headed by the Prime Minister, its day-to-day administration is handled by Vice President. In the 11th Five-Year Plan, priority was given to inclusive growth. What is economic stability? Economic stability is when the economy moves towards progress without much fluctuation. What is social justice? The income and wealth generated in the country should be distributed as equally as possible among all the people of the society without any discrimination of caste, class, literate, illiterate, poor, educated, urban, rural. This is called social justice. What is economic planning? The process by which the government, with some specific objectives, conclusively and wisely implements economic planning to maximum the happiness of the people by efficiently utilizing the resources available in the country. Why Sir M. Visvesvaraya called the father of Indian economic planning? He stressed the need for planning for the economic development of India. Hence, he is called the father of economic planning of India. What is Green Revolution? The rapid progress in the production of food grains is called the Green Revolution. What is post-harvest technology? The advanced technology used in the collection, processing and marketing of agricultural produces is called post-harvesting technology. What is second green revolution or pivotal green revolution? An attempt is being made to double agricultural production by using all kinds of eco-friendly techniques in agriculture. This is called the second green revolution or evergreen revolution. Which body approves the rural development? The contribution of the primary sector to the national income decreasing. The real development of India is the development of villages said by Mahatma Gandhi. The Panchayat Raj system has been implemented through this amendment, that is 73rd Amendment. The system brought into practice as per the 73rd Amendment three-tier system. Panchayat institutions function under the principles of democracy. This scheme is cooperative to develop the basic amenities of villages. Suvarna Gramodaya Yojana. The scheme to organize the rural poor women and make them economically self-reliant. Stree Shakti. The idea of Grama Swarajya is given by Mahatma Gandhi. What is value addition? Value addition. Value addition is the process of processing agricultural products in the villages. What is meant by Grama Swarajya? Grama Swarajya is the process of giving the power and responsibility of village development to the people of the village and developing the village into self-sufficient and prosperous villages. Which is the highest institution in the Panchayat Raj system? Jilla Panchayat organization. Name the government scheme that provides employment. Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program. What is the decentralization of power? Decentralization is the process of achieving village development by providing the power and responsibility of the village. Public finance and the budget. The financial year in India ends on March 31st. The central budget is presented in the Lok Sabha by the Union Finance Minister. Developing countries usually present deficit budget. This is an example for direct tax. The answer is corporate tax. It is mandatory to get the budget approval before this date, March 31st. What is personal finance? The management of income, expenditure and debt of an individual or family is called personal finance. What is the financial management of the government? Called public finance management. What is budget? The estimated list of income and expenditure of government for a year is called budget. What is deficit budget? If the expenditure is more than the income of the government in the budget, it is called the deficit budget. Why does a country like India present a deficit budget? A deficit budget is presented to achieve economic development by increasing expenditure. Give two example of social services, education service, health service. Give an example of non-planned expenditure, defense expenditure. What is monetary policy? The policy followed by the government in relation to its income and expenditure in monetary policy. What is direct tax? A tax whose business studies banking. The word bank is derived from the Italian word banco. This is called the central bank of the country, RBI or Reserve Bank of India. Senior citizens and pensioners with the fixed income usually open this account, saving account, an account that can be opened for future needs such as children's marriage, purchase of valuables, lands, cars, etc. Recurring deposit account. This department issues national savings certificate is postal department or post office. The bank account that allows depositing and withdrawing money as many times as necessary in a day, current account. The bank doesn't pay interest on deposits in the type of bank account and changes a service fees for its services, current account. Who controls the activities of banks in India? Reserve Bank. What is the service that people get from banks to protect their jewelry and valuables? Provide safe deposit locker services. Expand ATM automated teller machine. Expand ATM automated teller machine. From which French word the word bank has derived? Banque, BANQUE. Which bank is called the entrepreneurship? From which French word the word entrepreneur has originated? Entreprendre. Who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is a person who brings a new idea into practice in business. Who is meant by entrepreneurship? The action taken by an entrepreneur to establish a business is called entrepreneurship. What is the objective of establishing district industrial center? The growth of industries in rural areas. In which year was the district industry center established? In consumer education and production. World Consumer Day is observed on March 15. Complaints for the compensation amount is less than 1 crore should be filed with District Commission. The Who is called the king of the market consumer? What is teleshopping? With the development of information technology, today we can buy things sitting at home. This is called teleshopping. What is the need for consumer protection? Protecting consumers from exploitation by manufacturers and traders. Who is the chairman of National Consumer Protection Forum? Ministers of the Consumer Welfare Department of the central government. Who appoints the chairman of the District Consumer Commission? State government. In which year did the Consumer Protection Act came into force? Political science. Father of public administration, Woodrow Wilson. The following article of the Constitution talks about the State Public Service Commission, Article 315. Who used the term public administration for the first time? Used by Alexander Hamilton. Who appoints the members of Central Public Service Commission? appointed by the President. Explain the meaning of public administration according to Woodrow Wilson. Public administration is the through the systematic implementation of the law. What is appointment? Recruitment is the process of selecting suitable persons for suitable positions is known as appointment. Challenges of India and the remedies. The year in which the Right to Information Act was implemented by 2005. The first woman judge the Supreme Court of India, Fatima Bibi. What is meant by sub-regionalism? Regionalism in different regions within a state is called sub-regionalism. What is smuggling? The act of secretly importing and sending goods from foreign countries without paying any import or export duties to the government is called smuggling. Who are the gender minorities? The individuals from the community who are physically or mentally opposing to their genit- genitals are called the gender minorities. Which institution was established to prevent corruption? Lokpal and Lokayuktas. What is regionalism? The deep-rooted pride that a particular community has as for the region in which they live is called regionalism. What is communalism? The division of security on the basis of religion and the identification and development of mutual enmity on that basis is called communalism. What is corruption? Inciting illegal actions through bribery or any other means is called corruption. What is poverty? The state on which people are unable to meet their minimum needs is called poverty. What is profiteering? The attitude of making profits by collecting financial money from the India's foreign policy and global challenges. Who is called the father of India's foreign policy? Jawaharlal Nehru. The United Nations adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights on December 10, 1948. The first person, the term third word was used for the first time by Alfred Savage. India's policy of remaining neutral by not joining the blocs led by America and Russia, non-alignment policy. The country which adopted the policy of non-alignment in its foreign policy, India. World Human Rights Day is observed on December 10. The main objective of the French Revolution in 1789, protection of human rights. India promotes disarmament because India a peace-loving country. In 1954, India signed the Panchashila Principles which India's China. In 1954, India signed the Panchashila Principles with China. Global organizations. The United Nations was established in the year 1945. The term United Nations was coined by Franklin D. Roosevelt. The headquarters of the United Nations is located in New York. This is a subsidiary body by in the United Nations of Organizations Security Council. The headquarters of the International Court of Justice is located in The Hague. The World Health Organization was founded in the year 194. 19. The UN agency that won the Nobel Peace Prize in its own 1965, UNICEF. The headquarters of SAARC is located in Kathmandu. The League of Nations, which was started to maintain world peace, failed due to the outbreak of World War II. This subsidiary body of the United Nations is called the World Parliament General Assembly. The number of representatives from each number of states of the United Nations should send to the General Assembly 5. The headquarters of the World Health Organization is located in Geneva, which was the last territory to become independent under the administration of the Trusteeship Council. The last territory to become independent under the administration of the Trusteeship Council was the Republic of. Where is the headquarters of the Food and Agriculture Organization located? The headquarters of the Food and Agriculture Organization is in Rome, Italy. Which organization was established after World War II for the welfare of children? UNICEF is an organization established after World War II for the welfare of children. Which organization is called the Central Bank of the World Nations? The IMF is called the Central Bank of Central Banks of the countries. How many member nations are there in the Commonwealth of Nations? The Commonwealth of Nations has 56 member countries. When was SAARC organization established? The SAARC organization was established in 1985. Where is the headquarters of European Union located? The headquarters of European Union is in Brussels and Belgium. When was the African Union established? The Organization of Africa Unity was established in 1963. Why is the importance of the Trusteeship Council reduced? The scope of the work of Trusteeship Council of the United Nations is reduced because the number of trustees has reduced as there is no charity left. How is UNICEF working for the welfare of the children? The money earned from